Hello, everybody, and welcome to my presentation. This is going to be the mental health benefits of creating stop motion media for therapeutic potential and psychological impacts. This presentation is going to highlight how stop motion media can significantly contribute to emotional well-being and mindfulness and self-efficacy. And the reason I'm doing this is because, at least for me, I do struggle with my mental health, like most of us do, not to be too presumptuous, but it is a problem in today's day and age. So I wanted to kind of take one of my own hobbies that I enjoy, which is making stop motion, and I use Legos to do it because I really like Legos, to sort of, I don't know, take a piece of myself to put towards finding a better solution to kind of like self-medicate. And I say self-medicate not in the way of taking like a medicine for it, but using a more healthy coping mechanism um, for mental health. So without further ado, again, I'm Dakota Allen. A little bit about me before we start. I'm a four-year student at the University of West Oahu. I am in the creative media bachelor's program. Um, and that's all there is about that. So what we're getting into here, um, for this capstone, I'd like to develop structured stop motion workshops that I could kind of like teach people about, or that I could set the framework for. And what that would entail is that would integrate guided creative activities that promote mindfulness and emotional reflection exercises. I'd also like to put forward that stop motion media can be therapeutic um, for your mental health, as well as promoting like a better emotional response to things. And some of the research that I found definitely shows that it does reduce stress and it promotes kind of like a higher feeling of accomplishment when you're finished with what you're doing. Um, but, and this is very important, especially because stop motion is so involved with your time and, well, just involved with your time, really, because you need patience for it. It's crucial to avoid over reliance on the creative escapism part of it, excuse me, because you could get burnout very easily, and then you're kind of just right back where you started, if you know what I mean. So keep that in mind as we work forward. This is a healthy alternative, but there are also negatives. I think the pros outweigh the negatives, but there are still cons to this. Um, we're also going to, well, rather, I want to explore the therapeutic benefits of creating uh, the mental health challenges that necessitate innovative coping strategies and the creative interventions that have shown promising results, as well as that this proposed project leverages the psychological benefit of stop motion media to kind of provide people with more practical therapeutic outcomes. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and read you my thesis statement for the paper. The creation of stop motion media serves as a powerful therapeutic tool that fosters emotional expression, enhances mindfulness, and provides a structured creative outlet for individuals coping with mental health challenges. Drawing on psychological research linking media creation to improved well being, stop motion photography and videography can function as an effective coping mechanism by promoting self efficacy, reducing stress, and facilitating a sense of accomplishment. While its benefits are significant, it is essential to examine the potential risks of over-reliance on creative escapism, ensuring that it complements rather than replaces comprehensive mental health care. So the objective or rationale for this research conducted, the primary objective of this research is to explore and validate the therapeutic potential of creating stop motion media as a novel mental health intervention, right? And this rationale stems from the increasing prevalence and complexity of the global mental health challenges that you and I, and everyone else face every day. This kind of necessitates innovative and creative therapeutic approaches. The existing literature indicates significant psychological benefits, such as enhanced emotional processing, increased mindfulness, and improved resilience associated with creative activities, especially visual media creation. This research aims to harness these benefits through structured stop motion media practices. It's important to note, too, that stop motion, stop motion animation, I should say, particularly facilitates these outcomes by promoting a unique flow state. Um, Flow state is kind of, in my own words, kind of like how you would go about things, kind of sort of like a daily rhythm. So for my senior capstone plans, at the end of this capstone semester, not this semester, but the next one, um, again, I plan to deliver structured interactive stop motion animation workshops designed specifically for therapeutic settings. And these workshops will include guided creative activities, mindful techniques, and structured emotional reflection exercises, culminating in complete stop motion projects by participants. Now, having said that, I'm not quite sure the framework I'd like to, well, frame these these workshops because, well, we just haven't gotten there yet. But I have a lot of good ideas, and it's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be really nice. This direction aligns appropriately with my research as it directly implements the therapeutic benefits identified in creating stop motion media. The workshops operationalize key findings from the research, notably how structured creative expression. What is the significance of this research, you might ask? Well, from the research that I've done so far, it shows that cognitive flexibility engagement in stop motion enhances your cognitive flexibility by requiring continuous problem solving and adaptability. This is important because these creative activities they foster resilience in your mind. So this is mental resilience we're talking about, not physical. And that will significantly support mental health through your improved coping skills that you gain or you garner by doing this. So um, you come out of it with a better way to kind of cope with life's challenges that get thrown at you every day. We also talk about self-efficacy, right? So completing a stop motion project enhances self-efficacy by allowing creators to witness their incremental progress. One of my authors that I've been doing research with or for um, is Ryan and Frederick, and they published an article in 1997 about this. It said that your self-efficacy correlates positively with resilience and overall psychological health, and it makes it a crucial benefit of engaging in a medium such as this. And the significance of this research lies in its innovative approach to mental health care, offering a practical creative strategy to address emotional, cognitive, and psychological challenges. By validating stop motion animation as a therapeutic tool, the research provides evidence for its effectiveness in enhancing emotional expression, mindfulness, and self efficacy. So, some of the future implications for this might be like, excuse me, the future research we'd be exploring detailed longitudinal effects and cultural applicability for a diverse population. So this wouldn't work just for you or I or someone else. This I want this to be able to work for everyone. And you'll see here I've attached slides of some of the uh, materials I've been using for this project. This research significantly contributes to the field of mental health by proving or providing empirical evidence supporting the therapeutic effectiveness of stop motion media as a coping mechanism. Now, I want you to remember that it is a coping mechanism. It's a it's a more holistic medicine, but it's a medicine nonetheless. So take this with a grain of salt. It highlights how structured creative activities can only not serve as emotional outlets, but also enhance cognitive flexibility and mindfulness. And again, some of these future implications might look like mental health professionals adopting stop motion workshops as a regular therapeutic intervention across clinical um, uh, environments for the broader community. let's go over some of the data that I've garnered regarding emotional regulation and well-being. So according to Jean Berluc, 2004, engagement in structural creativity, or excuse me, creative activities significantly improved emotional regulation and reduced anxiety symptoms by approximately 30% in participants who engaged in art-based therapeutic programs. 30% seems small, but when you're dealing with things such as anxiety and depression, every little bit helps. Um, Fanoncourt, and there were many others, so I just put et al. In 2020, observed that creative activities, including visual arts, result in measurable stress reduction, with participants reporting up to 25% decrease in perceived stress levels after regular participation in structured creative sessions. So, again, 25% seems small. It's really not. And self-efficacy, again, we have the Ryan and Frederick article in 1997. They found that structured creative projects significantly boost self-efficacy amongst participants, reporting up to 40% improvement in self-confidence and a sense of personal accomplishment following completion of creative projects. Flow and cognitive engagement. I am not going to attempt to say these names, but they published an article in 1993 that reported that engaging in detailed, immersive creative tasks similar to stop motion animation resulted in participants achieving flow states associated with increased concentration and productivity, enhancing cognitive engagements and psychological well-being by nearly 35%, which to me, again, every little bit helps when dealing with these topics. So for my target audience, this isn't something I want to be able to work for just one person. I want this to work for all. So getting into that, this target audience is going to be for adults and adolescents that are coping with stress, anxiety, depression, or emotional dysregulation who can benefit significantly from structured creative expression and mindfulness practices inherent in stop motion animation. So things regarding that medium. Practitioners interested in integrating innovative creative therapy techniques into their clinical practices so that they can, enrich their existing therapeutic offerings. This is also I want to be available for schools and colleges, universities such as ours, and community centers that seek effective methods to support the emotional well-being and the cognitive growth of community members, students and community members, fostering emotional literacy, creative problems, solving skills, and overall psychological health. You'll have to forgive me. I'm at work right now, and a lot of things going on. And my proposed solution for this is to effectively harness the mental health benefits of stop motion animation. I propose the integration of structured creative workshops, like we've talked about, into existing healthcare programs. These workshops would offer guided activities in stop motion production, combined with mindfulness and emotional reflection exercises. This integrated approach would not only mitigate the risk of burnout and isolation, but also reinforce the therapeutic potential of creative expression by aligning closely with professional psychological support. And here you'll see just a little bit of the work that goes into even starting a stop motion project so far removed from what the final product would be, which would be a stop motion workshop. So preparation process for this is, since stop motion can be so daunting, it can be very taxing. To even get started, you're going to make sure that you want a lot of room, you want a lot of space, and you need time, which I know a lot of us don't have. But you're going to want an area kind of like away, a little bit quiet. You can obviously you can take and edit things in post, but you're going to want generally speaking, you're going to want it to be quiet. And as you work, patience is key. Okay, I have this little funny quote here that Rome wasn't built in a day. It's a little bit on the nose, but it's true. So take that as you will. And then I found it useful that when you're done shooting for the day, it's not going to be done in a day. Good gracious, no. To leave things exactly as they are. So if you're doing it at home, make sure your kids aren't around. or they're not in an area where they can disturb how you left it off as film where you were filming. If you have cats and they like to walk around, I have cats, so very important, very important. And here I've attached a deliverable. Feel free to click on this link of something that I think would be extremely beneficial for people who struggle with their mental health. Um, something, I mean, beneficial if we had this as a workshop in that modality. So this is by someone on YouTube that I've followed for years. This is Tomosteen, and one of these stop motion workshops I think is just beautiful. They're curated well, they're shot extremely well, and you can click on this link to view it. This is not my content. All the credit goes to Tomosteen, but something like this is very similar to what I would like to produce. And that is it for now. I will open the floor to questions. Unfortunately, since this is pre-recorded, I can't take any questions, but you are more than welcome to email me if you have them, or um, any other way. If you can ask me questions, that would be great.